Welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 5. Today we're going to be learning about lofts and how to create those. And then to do that, we're also going to learn how to create offset planes. So the part that we're going to be making today is a vase with a fairly simple design, just a few squares, and then we're going to kind of rotate them a little bit. So to start, we're going to do just a sketch on our top plane. That way it goes up again, hitting P to hide my planes and in for a normal view. Now I'm going to use uh, my center point rectangle. If you don't see this, you can hit the little arrow and it's in the middle, the center point rectangle. Then I'm going to click on my center point and then drag out. Click again, and then I'm going to make this a 4 by 4. So I'm going to click 4 and then enter, and then 4 again and enter. So now I have my constrained square for the bottom of my vase. That's all I'm going to do on this sketch. So I'll finish that. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go into plane. So if I go to this one right here, I'll click plane. Now I can select entities. One of the easiest ways to do this is to just select this sketch. And then now it's automatically set to offset. There are other options, but we're not going over this today. We're going to leave it at offset. And you can see that it offsets it from that plane for a set distance. So for this distance, we're going to do 3 inches. So now our next sketch will be 3 inches above our original sketch. Now I'm going to go ahead and create another sketch, put it on that plane. Again, viewing it normal to by clicking in. Another center point rectangle. Click it in here, and then I'm going to make it narrower a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 inches by 2 inches. That. And then I also want to rotate it a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to highlight my square and then do this transform. Again, it might be like these 4 squares that are linear pattern. If it is, then you just click the little drop down and do transform. And then this little thing will pop up. I want it to rotate around the center, so I'm going to drag to the center. And then I'm going to use this right here to rotate it. So I'm going to click and drag. And I'm going to do 45 degrees like that. And then click off. And now I have it set. Now, if you notice, it went back to blue lines, so it's where I can drag it around. That happens after you use transform, so I'm going to re-snap it to my center. And then I'm also going to use a construction line going straight out from horizontal, like so. I'm going to then dimension one of my lines right here with this line at 45 degrees. That way everything's constrained and I don't have my little blue circle over here on my sketch. So now that's my second one. I'm going to finish that. Now, to finish this base, I'm going to do one more plane. So again, I'm going to click over here for plane. And then I can either select this plane or the sketch. It doesn't matter. I just need something for the plane to be offset from. So again, offsetting it. And I want my original offset plane to be in the middle. So I'm going to do another 3 inches. So now if I zoom out, you can see that that middle plane that I created first is in the middle. So now I'll come in here and create another sketch on plane 2. Again, viewing normal. And then I'm going to do another center point rectangle. Starting in my center, clicking. And then this one, I want to go back out a little bit, but not quite as much as my base. So I want it to be a little bit narrower up top. That way it's a little bit more stable. So I'll do 3 inches and 3 inches. They do not have to be squares. They could be any shape using lofts. I'm just using a square for this instance. Now, one other thing to note here is um, because I want it to rotate back around and be parallel with my base, I don't need to rotate this anything at all or at all right here. So I'm going to click my checkbox. So now if I just hit P and P again, it'll hide all my planes. So now it'll go from this sketch to this sketch back up to this top sketch. So now we'll go ahead and do the loft. So the loft is right here. We're going to click it. So now it's asking for profiles. And what I'm going to do is just starting at the bottom, I'm going to click the first profile, then click the next profile I want it to go to. And then now you can kind of see that it goes up and it turns. And then all I have to do to finish it is select this next profile. So now I have a nice kind of twisty vase, um, or at least twisty block. Finish that. Now, to make it a full-on vase, I need to hollow out the inside, so we can just use the shell that we learned about a couple of lessons ago. And then now I'll click my top face to hollow it out, and I'll just leave it at 0.1 on thickness, uh, because that would work. And then now I have my finished vase. But again, as per normal on best practices, I'm going to go ahead and rename this. I'm just going to go flower vase. And then also on my Part Studio. And then I'm also going to edit the appearance. So one other thing that we can do with the appearance is, like, say I wanted it to make it look like it was like frosted glass, so I could do like this blue. But say I wanted to make it more like glass, I could actually do transparency. So I can actually go down. If I go all the way down, it'll just be down to a wireframe where you only see the wires of the edges. But I don't want that look, so I'll kind of go in the middle where it's mostly solid but a little bit transparent, like that. And then I'll go ahead and finish that. And there is our vase.